A very warm greetings to all my fellow traders. Um, Today is 5th of December 2024, and we are having Nifty expiry. And the premiums are very high since morning. Straddle premiums are greater than 300 rupees, something which we have not seen for a long time on a non-event day. Yesterday, everything was going well, and suddenly there was a 200-point dip out of nowhere. And then later in the day, there was another dip. So I think there's a lot of scar which traders are carrying. And in my view, that is reflecting in the premiums today. But what I wanted to say was, how do you approach this kind of market? And what is happening here? So I wanted to share a few things in very quick 5 minutes. Let me start sharing my screen. Okay. I'm just sharing. Just give me a second. Okay. Now, let me show you the chart which I follow. Okay. So this is my favorite setup. Here I look at 4 charts in one window, and I'll quickly take you through the setup. So this is the Nifty underlying. And here, if you see, I have put the super trend. This is the normal setting of super trend, which is 10-3. We have this is the RSI. RSI upper band is 60 and the lower band is 40, standard RSI 14. And the third one is an indicator which I have created, which is nothing but India VIX. And it looks at the two moving averages. It is bullish if the shorter term moving average is higher than the longer term moving average, and vice versa. So this is the India VIX. So this is my setup for Nifty. In addition, I look at 3 other charts. So I look at the straddle chart. Right now, Nifty is at 336. Of course, I mean, this was in motion a little bit back. So that time the straddle was 24,400. So I have 24,400 put and 24,400 call here, which is the straddle. And then I also look at 24,400 put, which is the ATM put, and 24,400 call, which is the ATM call. So essentially, right now the prices are moved, but I look at the underlying. I look at the straddle chart. I look at the ATM put chart and ATM call chart. On the ATM put and the call, I have standard super trend, VWAP, and RSI. So this is my setting. I sometimes use swing high low on the chart, which right now I'm not using, but that is added. On the straddle chart, it is super trend and VWAP. So this is the setup. Now, what do I look here? Of course, you start looking at your view on the underlying, and we clearly see that the super trend has turned bearish since 9:45 or 9:50. So since 9:50, even if you would have waited for this candle to close, at 9:50, the super trend turned bearish, 24,420, and we have fallen about 80 points from there. Okay. So I look at the direction, I look at the RSI, but what is the most important thing that I look at is the VIX. I also look at IV. I'll show you how. But clearly, we see today, if you focus on this chart, since morning, the VIX has been increasing. It is in green. It is going up. Morning to now, it is steadily increasing. Okay, so that is the first thing I see on the underlying. So underlying, the VIX is increasing, price is declining. Now, what am I looking on the straddle chart? I look at how the straddle premium is behaving. You clearly see that at 9:15, this was not the ATM that time. 24,500 was the ATM, but there will be certain approximation. You can look at 24,500 also. There has been a steady increase in the straddle premium. And after that, Nifty went into the range, but it is expiry day. We are just about 4.5 hours from expiry, but the straddle premium is not declining. So what is it telling me? And now you see the straddle super trend has turned bullish. So when I see there is no decline, the super trend line when it was bearish was flat, there was no decline. Right now, the straddle is above the VWAP. Straddle super trend is bullish. This is not the day for the option sellers. This is definitely not a day when you will create a straddle or a strangle. Then I look at the ATM put and the ATM call. Now, one of the things I look at is that if, sorry, just one second. Uh, what is their behavior? Now, clearly you can see that the put option is increasing. Call option premium is declining. All the parameters, right? Super trend, VBAP, RSI, all are bullish for the put, all are bearish for the call. Now, when this setup is there, you don't get into a non-directional trade at all. You stay directional because put and the call are behaving in opposing direction. So the straddle chart here, the put ATM, the call ATM, all the three put together are telling you that it is a day for direction. However, even though it is a day of direction, the VIX is steadily increasing, and I'll show you IV. Let me quickly show you since I've been referring to it. So I look at the IV from the option chain. Now you clearly look at the IV here. Our ATM call IV is 33. Our ATM put IV is 38. Anytime the Nifty IV goes above 33, 35, in fact above 30, you can expect a trending market. You can expect sudden moves. So typically the IV would be 15, 16, 17 in that kind of range. It is below 20, below 22, you can expect steady premium behavior. When it is above 30 and particularly when it is above 35, you expect unusual moves, sudden spikes. So essentially, there are a few things which I have talked about. I have talked about, let me go back to my chart. So from the option chain, and you can see it from the NSE option chain also, in case you don't have the subscription to iPulse. This is the NSE india.com/option chain. And here also you can focus on the IV. You see the IV, or you can write your custom code to compute IV. That is the most tedious thing. Just to summarize, what am I saying? I'm saying that I am looking at four different charts. One is the underlying chart. Second is the straddle chart. Third is the ATM put and ATM call. And what am I looking in those charts? I'm looking at the direction using price action, using super trend and VBAP. The second thing I'm looking, and this is the most important thing that I look, is the VIX behavior, whether VIX is declining or VIX is increasing. So that is what I look in the VIX and the underlying chart. Today, if you see, the super trend is bearish, RSI is below 40. So it is declining trend on Nifty and the VIX is going up. So that is on the underlying chart. Then I look at the straddle chart. On the straddle, I look at how's the straddle premium behaving. Is it declining, which it is supposed to because of the theta, or is it not declining, which means even if the super trend is bearish, is that super trend line flat, which means there is no decline, and VWAP. So the straddle premium is over VWAP. And right now the straddle premium is on a super trend also, it is a bullish thing. So when that is happening, that's not, so two things if I look at it, if the straddle premium is not declining and the VIX is going up, certainly it is not a day for non-directional trades. You need to be directional. Now, what is the third and the fourth thing I look? I look at the put ATM and the call ATM chart. And here I look at, are they in the same direction or the different direction? The day you will see this kind of behavior, you can rest assured that both of them will be in opposite direction. One will be going up, one will be bullish, one will be bearish. Now, today, put is bullish, call is bearish, and all the other things are suggesting that it is a directional day. And right now, the way the things are, you would be in one direction, which is in the short direction. There would be days when you would see that the VIX would be decreasing, the straddle premium would be steadily declining, and also you would be surprised to see that the put and the call both may be declining. That is a perfect day for you to get into a non-directional strangle or a straddle trade. Now, so the first thing is, today, if I look at all the things put together, which I talked about, and IV is better than VIX. VIX is delayed and VIX looks at only monthly premium. So ideally, you should be looking at IV, but VIX is a close approximation, which is okay. So when you see this kind of setup, you are not non-directional. That is very clear. Now, when you are directional, are you going to be on the option buying side or an option selling side? Now, the fact that VIX has been increasing and there could be sudden moves in the market. Sudden move can also be a reversal move. So if you're an option seller, then you are playing with fire. So today I would not be selling an option. Will I be buying an option? Higher VIX or higher IV, while it seems that it is good for the option buyer, sometimes it backfires because there could be sudden move which can be opposite in the direction in which you are trading. So the best strategy today is right now to just wait it out, not take any trade, and wait for the IV to decline or do very quick scalping trades, right? That's the best scenario. But if there is a itch that come what may, we have to trade, then the trade has to be a hero zero trade on the option buying side, which means adjust your quantity to the extent you can lose all the premium on that. And there, because if you take an SL, the SL can be taken out in any move. You see the move that came here, right? 1055. Now, of course, this move was in the direction of the trend, but you would see some days it would be a counter direction. Right now, we are at 24,355. You never know. If you look at the chart, it could be a retracement and then we can make the move up. So you may get caught on the wrong side, but hopefully, if you hold your if you hold your option buying position, you may get one move in your favor, and that time you will have to exit. So essentially, what I'm saying is, if you're on an option buying side, either have a very deep SL or no SL at all. So that is the trade. And that's the overall way you look at it. You look at the IV behavior or the VIX behavior. You look at the underlying. You look at the straddle. You look at the ATM put and ATM call. And then you decide whether you will be non-directional or whether you will be directional. And if you are directional, whether you will be on the on the option selling side or on the option buying side. Thank you so much for watching this particular video. I'll stop here.